Multiplication. Yoo-hoo! Hi there! You back and feeling fresh? Righto then, let's get on with it. In this next part of the VCD, we are going to learn something new. Are you looking forward to it? Because we're going to learn about multiplication, folks. Yes, that's right, multiplication. In multiplication, the number to be multiplied is written on the top and the number multiplying it is written below it. This is how we shall write it on a worksheet. But there is a most important thing that we must know before we learn how to multiply in our VCD. Yes, one very important thing, and that is you must know the times table by heart from the 1 times table to the 9 times table, all the way from 1 times 1 till 9 times 12. Once you are sure about how to multiply with single digits in the times table, let's take a step forward and learn how to multiply a double digit with a single digit. Okay? This is 32 multiplied by 2, or we can even say 32 times 2. That means 32 is increased 2 times. We get the answer by starting from the right again. Multiply 2 times 2 to get 4, which is written below the line. Next, multiply 3 by 2 to get 6. The answer is therefore 64. Got it? So let's go to the next one, shall we? This one is easy. Multiply 57 by 1. If you remember in your 1 times table that the answer of any number multiplied by 1 stays the same as that number. So 57 times 1 is 57. That's so simple, wasn't it? Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. In the next part, we multiply a 3-digit number by a single digit, like 110 times 9 is... I am sure you remember that any number multiplied by 0 gives 0 as an answer. So starting from the right, 9 times 0 is what else but 0, which is written below the line. Then 9 times 1 is 9, and again 9 times 1 is 9. 110 times 9 is 990. Wasn't that straightforward? Just the same as multiplying with a 2-digit number, except here we have a 3rd digit. If you need more practice with multiplication, remember to learn up your times tables and then play this CD-ROM in your computer, where you can learn by punching in the numbers yourself. Now, what happens in this case? Say 3 times 5, which is 15. And what if 3 is placed next to a 2 to make it a 23, as in 23 times 5? No problem. Let's learn this together, shall we? First, multiply 5 into 3 to get 15. But now look carefully at what we do to the number 15. We have a carryover number in multiplication as well, folks. Oh yes, we have, and it is used in the same way too. Isn't that convenient for us to learn faster? Like with addition, the 5 goes down below the black line and the 1 is the carryover number, which is placed above the number 2, as we can see happening here. Then we multiply 5 times 2 to get 10. Now look carefully, my friends. The 10 gets added to the carryover number 1 to become 11. And 11 is written below the line. So, finally, the answer to 23 times 5 is 115. Did you get that? Remember, practice makes perfect, and to practice problems of this type, we have just finished. Replay the last section of this VCD. That was a very important section in multiplication we just learned. So, let's take a breath for a moment. A deep breath. Stretch. Give me a big smile and pat ourselves on the back, okay? Okay, now let's go to the next part where we multiply with bigger numbers. Alright? The same as in the previous section, except that now we multiply a 3-digit number with a single digit. So let's multiply 345 by 4. Starting from the right, 4 5s are 20. 0 goes below, carry over 2. Now watch carefully, folks, because we don't want to trip over these calculations, do we? No way. So 4 4s are 16. But before we do anything else, we must add the carryover number. So 16 plus 2 is 18. Now 8 goes below, carry over 1, then 4 3s are 12. Again, add 1 to 12 to get 13. So finally, the answer to 345 times 4 is 1380. Whew! That was some nifty piece of multiplication work, wasn't it, folks? Practice it again to master it. In the next section, we shall multiply 34 by 52. What? Did you hear correctly? Multiplied by a 2-digit number? But how is that possible? Can you guess? Well, here's how. Now, let's get back to multiplying 34 by 52. And you know what? We'll even be using addition to finish our calculation. Oh yes, addition with multiplication. This is a new and exciting challenge that we will overcome together, hand in hand. Okay, my dear friends? Okay, we're off! To complete this multiplication, we follow 3 steps. 2 steps for each of the multiplying digits, 5 and 2, and 1 last step for addition. In the first step, multiply 34 by 2, and in the second step, multiply 34 by 5. In the first step, starting from the right, 2 4s are 8, which is written below the line, below the number 2. Next, 2 3s are 6, which is again written below the line as seen here. Now the first step is over, so let's move on to the second step. Look carefully, folks, because 5 is a tens unit and not a ones unit. Its multiplication answer is written below the first answer and starts 1 place to the left. That's right, folks, 1 place to the left. Watch the multiplication now. Starting from the right, 5 into 4 is 20. 0 is written below the first answer, 1 place to the left, as seen here. And the carryover number 2 is written above 3. Next, 5 3s are 15. Add the carryover 2, which gives 17. This is again written below the first answer. Now we have 2 answers. The answer of 34 times 2, which is 68, and 34 times 5, which is 170, written below the answer 68, but offset to the left by 1 place, because 5 is a tens unit. And the third and last step is to add the 2 numbers the way they are written in the worksheet. So 8 plus nothing is 8. 6 plus 0 is 6. And 7 and 1 are written below the second black line. The total is 1,768, which is the answer of 34 times 52. Did you follow that? Wow! Don't you feel like an intelligent maths pro already? Practice, practice, practice. That's the maths mantra to perfection. So friends, if you want to be good at maths, that's what you need to do. Practice, practice, practice. To ensure that you stay clever, let's complete the last multiplication challenge problem, shall we? Let's multiply 736 by 61. Ooh, that seems like 2 big numbers. But never fear when Apu's here. We'll make it so much fun that we'll finish it before we know it. Like in the previous problems, let's start from the right, shall we? Remember the 3 steps. Step 1 is 736 times 1. Step 2 is 736 times 6. Then in step 3, add the 2 answers in the special way we saw earlier. So Starting from the right, 1 times 6 is 6, which goes below the black line. It's the same with 1 times 3 and 1 times 7, which give 3 and 7 respectively. The next step is to multiply 736 with 6. Starting from the right, 6 times 6 is 36. 6 goes below the first answer, offset 1 place to the left, and 3 is carried over above 3. Got it? 3 is carried over above 3. Next, 6 3s are 18. Add carry over number 3 to get 21. As we saw earlier, 1 goes below the first answer next to the 6. Carry over 2 above 7. 6 times 7 is 42. Add carry over 2 to it to get 44. Since this is the last digit to the left, we write 44 to the left of 1 and 6. The answer of the first multiplication step was 736. The answer of the second multiplication step was 4,416, written offset to the left. The last step is to add the numbers the way they are written. We get 6 plus nothing is 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. 7 plus 1 is 8, and both the 4s are written below the line. So the final answer is 44,896. Good heavens! Just look at that gigantic number, will you? This is a challenge truly overcome. You have done well. But like we say always, practice makes one perfect. So take up the challenge again if you wish to and win. It's break time, folks. If you need to, take a break before we go to the next and last section. Okay? Up, up, and away we go!